This shop makes over $21,000.
$34,650
Made
per
over
month.
$100,000 in the last 5 months.
You've probably seen all the videos on this over and over again. Etsy shops making tens of thousands of dollars each month with digital products. And the punchline is usually the same. YouTuber pulls a screen recording of a shop's monthly income and proceeds to give you a mid-journey tutorial on the easy mystery product that you can sell yourself. The product is so easy to make with AI that you're led to believe you can make the same numbers yourself. And to be 100% real with you guys, I've done videos like that myself because I thought making that kind of money is actually achievable, provided you do hard and consistent work. Well, I can now say that I have done that hard and consistent work for more than 6 months with my own Etsy store, selling websites and marketing templates. And in this video, I want to share the 5 lessons I learned that will debunk some misconceptions and just filter through the bullshit to show you the reality of selling digital products on Etsy. Lesson 1. So the selling point in almost all of these videos is that the products are extremely easy to make with AI. And while that's true, usually an easy product means an oversaturated market because anybody who has $10 in their bank account can make it. Opening an Etsy shop also takes about 10 minutes, so it's no surprise that there are over 7 million active sellers on the market. So you as a small seller chipping in with a couple of AI art listings, well, I think you know where I'm headed with this. And I know that the market is oversaturated because I've done the whole AI art business with my own shop. I made $70 before I closed it down because I just couldn't keep up with the transaction, listing, and marketing fees that were just wearing down my revenue. Which brings me to lesson 2. Another selling point in these videos is the inflated numbers. These numbers aren't profit, they're revenue. Analytics tools like Allura and Everbee simply can't tell you the costs associated with running a shop. And to be clear, the costs go way beyond the usual listing, transaction, and marketing fees billed by Etsy, which by the way are significant. If we take a look at my shop for the month of August, I've made about $960 in sales, but after deducting Etsy's fees, I'm only left with around $750. So that's more than $200 going into Etsy's pockets. And on top of that, I pay $29 per month to host the websites that I'm selling and $15 per month for Canva Pro. And just keep in mind, I do all my advertising only on Etsy. These big shops selling $2 million per month, they run dedicated websites, Facebook and Google ads. They most likely pay marketing specialists and freelancers to run all their ads as efficiently and effectively as possible. All of this costs a significant amount of money each and every single month. But of course, you don't get to see all the hurdles because a $1 million text looks a lot better in a thumbnail. Lesson 3. Now, Etsy, despite being a marketplace, operates on an algorithm much like YouTube or social media sites. You're relying on that algorithm to show your listings to potential customers. If you don't comply with the algorithm, you won't make any sales. And typically, what triggers the algorithm is listing frequency and listing quality. Much like Instagram favors reels and consistent content uploads, Etsy favors shops that post new listings frequently, that have videos in their listings, and use all their latest features. For context, one of my competitors selling website templates has almost 100 listings, and they continue to add more and more each day despite making thousands of sales. And the reason for that is really easy. If you stop posting, you stop selling. So that's frequency. To post quality listings with good images, good descriptions and tags, on average you need approximately an hour per listing. Now, Will made a great analysis in his own video about spending 100 hours on 100 listings, which would earn you about $10 per hour, considering the average annual profit that an Etsy seller makes. That is slightly above the minimum hourly wage in the US, but let's look at my own concrete example with my shop. So far, in 6 months, I've made a revenue of around $3,600. My costs are about 30% of that, so my total profit is $2,500. I've spent around 120 hours in total on building the websites and uploading the listings, so if we make all the calculations, we are looking at a wage of $20 per hour. But it's not as simple as that. Me putting more hours into my websites and the listings doesn't guarantee more sales. For example, in August I worked twice as much as in September but made around the same amount of money. Because again, I have to rely on the algorithm to show my listings to my customers. Lesson 4. So assuming that you're doing well, making at least $300 in 3 months, you're eligible to receive the Star Seller badge, which lets buyers know that you're a serious seller with a proven track record. And there are really 3 problems with the Star Seller badge. So first, it's not constant. You could receive it for a month but lose it for the next. Etsy reviews your shop on the first of each month and checks the previous 3 months to see if you've met the requirements. If you didn't, you lose the badge. Second, there are two requirements you cannot control. Getting sales is something you can influence by running ads. Maybe you sell a product to one of your friends if your shop is not going that well. That part is easy to achieve. But Etsy also expects you to receive at least one review and one message that you need to reply to within 24 hours within this 3-month window. So if you don't receive a minimum of a 4.8 star review within this 3-month period, you lose the badge. If you don't receive a message you can reply to, or you receive it while you're on vacation and you don't reply in 24 hours, you lose the badge. And if you sold anything before or provided a service, you know that isn't realistic. Statistics show that only 1 out of 10 customers leave a review, even if they're satisfied with their purchase. So even if you're doing well, making 7 or 8 sales in 3 months, you aren't likely to receive a review. Similarly, with digital products, there's not much customer service involved. Once you build a product and it works as intended, the customer buys it and uses it, and that's it. So there's not much going back and forth messaging and a whole lot of customer service involved, which means you're unlikely to receive too many messages from buyers. And personally, I have struggled to retain the badge. So far, out of the 6 months that I've been on the platform, I only had the badge for 1 month. But even then, it did nothing. I was a star seller in May, and during that month, I made around $450. Compare that to September when I didn't have the badge and I've made twice as much, and you'll basically understand that the badge is completely useless. Now, that might be an extreme take. I'm sure in many industries it means something to customers, but during the 1 month that I've had it, it had no significant impact. Lesson 5. So before I started my AI art shop, I tried to launch a clothing business. I had my products ready, the mock-ups made, all ready to publish. I signed up on Etsy, registered the business, and was just about to publish my listings. 2 days later, my account was suspended. No reason or explanation given. Now, I knew that this was nothing unexpected, so I appealed the suspension to Etsy support, and several weeks and follow-ups later, they've emailed me saying that after careful consideration, they've determined I do not qualify for reinstatement. They cannot disclose why, and they cannot discuss my account status further. Now, just let's rewind a bit. I didn't even begin selling. It was an empty shop, so I didn't violate any of their policies. And to see just how common this is, you can do a quick Google search on how often they suspend accounts left and right without any explanation given. And fair enough, I mean, it's their house and their rules, but that is the exact issue. You cannot rely on building a house on rented land. Etsy isn't yours, the customers aren't yours, neither is your shop really yours. One day you can have it, the next day they can take it away without even needing to provide a reason. On top of that, and this is probably the most disturbing part, Etsy have been experimenting with a payment reserve feature. Basically, they will block 75% of the funds you earn from each order for 45 days or until your order ships to the customer with tracking info. And this doesn't affect just new shops. They've been trialing this feature with big established shops with hundreds of reviews and sales. So just out of curiosity, let me know in the comments what you think about that, and if you're confident enough to sell on Etsy after knowing all of this. But okay, so now, despite all this coming across as a massive rant towards Etsy, it's not. I made good money on the platform so far and want to keep selling in the future, but I never have and never will rely on it as a primary source of income. Also, those inflated numbers in the thumbnails, either you have to be extremely lucky, make a unicorn of a product that everybody wants and not have any costs, or put in thousands of hours of work, publish quality listings every single day, and be motivated consistently for at least a year. Does that sound like a normal person to you? Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. Leave a like if you did, would love it if you subscribed as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.